Started. It
Yes.
started. Yay, 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 yay. Okay,
Hi.
there's a new thing that I learned. Like, how we have our viewers seeing us, right? Immediately to grab their attention, all we have to do is just put our hands on top, all of us. Put our hands on top. Okay, and start saying pom, 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 pom. Read it loud. Say it loud. Pom, 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 pom,
We are
pom.
live, guys. We are live.
I know. Pom, 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 pom. So this will actually, boost up our own energy as well.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Great, great. Welcome to another episode of Fortune Talks. This is 11th episode, and this shows that we ourselves have an unwavering faith in what we are actually giving it out to people, giving it to our community, to our known friends and family and loved and near ones. That as fortune changers, we always look forward for giving the best of whatever we know, right? Various facets, different angles, different thoughts. Yeah. So welcome to this episode of Fortune Talks. Today's topic is about unwavering faith and consistent efforts creates fortunes for you. Yeah. So I'm all excited to go through this topic and actually getting expert views from our expert committee that we have here. Okay. So let's understand, from Rajat, right? What is that, Rajat? Before we actually ask a question, maybe quick, we can do a round table. What, according to you, let's just take less than 30 seconds or a minute. What, according to you, is faith? What do you mean by faith?
Faith is believe in yourself.
Faith is belief in yourself. Amazing, amazing. Yeah. How about you, Satish? What are your thoughts about faith?
Yeah, faith is actually self-belief and also belief in what you're doing, the purpose that you're living.
Purposeful living. Amazing, amazing. Yourself, Chetna?
For me too, it is just to believe in yourself is the strongest thing, what I can say. That's
Yeah.
definition of faith.
Okay, good. To me, faith is, of course, self-belief, believe in what you do, believe in what you're giving, and all these things. But faith, unwavering faith, according to me, is putting yourself in a higher pedestal of energies, a higher frequency of energies for yourself and for others, right? And when you go on, let's say if Rajat has been writing a book and he's been an author coach for like many years, that shows he has that faith in authoring, right? And Satish has been, no matter what, he's into network marketing and he has that faith in himself and the business that he's doing. And Chetna has absolute faith in, podcasting and in giving out so many podcasts week on week on week. I have faith about money management for myself and for others. So money is my faith, right? So that's a faith. So over Rajat, I have two questions for you. Is faith really required to bring out a masterpiece? To bring out a masterpiece in terms of a book?
Yes, yes, Vivek. Faith is required. Faith is very much needed in every aspect of whatever you've been doing. Of course, in book as well. Many times I have told you in this shows as well that 85% of the people, as per the Google research, like to write a book. Though only 0.5% or maybe further less able to complete and make it a published author, because that people who liked to write a book 85%, 80% of the people die out at the time when it has been asked to them to start. There itself they die out. And that 20% who started, out of that 20%, 80% of people again die out while in a middle or in a start itself as they've been writing. So
Yeah.
there is a reason behind that, why that has been happening. We are living in a very volatile world. We are living in a world which is very short term focused and short term goals. Either we call it in our families or in our careers or businesses. The attention span has been reducing from 7, 8 seconds to 3 or 4 seconds. So and book writing is not something like a 2-hour job or 3 hours job. Though there are some people who do that, by copying or do something which I do not coach or teach people. So the book writing requires some sort of a consistency, some sort of a understanding of the subject and writing it out and give some time to it. I said at least 60 days, 90 days, you take it minimum to write a really good book, as it's a service thing which you've been giving it to the people and to the world. So when the attention span is so low, and in this whole period of time, some incidents also happen in people's life, and then they just drop it. One thing that they can drop, which is very easy, is let me just drop writing my book, as I have got into something
Ah,
really bizarre, some incident has happened. Now I need to totally focus here. Let me just move everything out, including the book, all of it, and they just drop it. And that is the reason that the rest of that 80% of that 20% I was mentioning it, they never be able to complete the book, and it's very very difficult to again gain that same momentum back. So there are strategies that you can really overcome this thing. But the reason why I wanted to share this whole picture to you is because we need to understand why this is happening. Is because of the same reason, which is attention span, which is going low, which is some incidents happen and you just break the chain. I mean, I read it somewhere that if you do not do this thing continuously for 3 days, what you're supposed to do, you are behind some 6 months in your
wow.
vision. And if you do not
That's
do that in 1 week, then you're behind 1 year of your vision. So that 30 minutes consistent steps, 15 minutes consistent steps daily, actually helping you give that compounding effect. It's not a 1 day that you have lost. It's not a 3 day you have lost. It's a half of a year, or it's a year which you have lost.
one
And to
whole
do,
year. Wow. Yeah.
yeah, that is a critical aspect. And to do that, you require some strategies like you need to have affirmations. Every day you need to read, I'm an awesome author. I am writing 1,000 words in a day. I Until I complete my writing, everything else is a distraction. Some of that affirmations required. Another technique can be visualization, where you have at a multiple places wherever you go, it is written, okay, my book is coming. This is a book title by this time. So when you subconsciously, unconsciously keep looking at that places, then whenever these incidents that happen, it will not let your book, the situation will not let your book get out of that radar, because you have been reading that affirmations, you have been visualizing it. And the very important aspect which I should be able to share with you is you require a coach, because coach is the
Hmm.
one who will keep poking you, who will bring you back to your finding your why. That why did you actually start writing the book? There
Yeah.
was a reason why you started writing a book. There was a service that you wanted to give it to the people. Many times when these events happen, people forget about that, their why did I start. People forget about uh, all the aspects, other things. And that is where the role of a coach comes, where he's been reminding you, he's been poking you, he's been nudging you, and coming back to you and telling you, and sometimes hard to you, and give you the inspiration and a motivation as well. So these are the few
Well
things which
said.
you can actually do to ensure that you are able to write. And to do all this, you require a faith. I mean, faith is something. If you, I mean, I fail to understand why people don't able to get the faith of completing their book at times. The I'm not good enough syndrome, or I'm not that good, or I may take more time, that all should be out of their dictionary. I mean, I remember I was reading one book. I was reading this book, of Hal Elrod, The Miracle Equation.
The
This is
miracle
again,
equation.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think to the audience and to all of you, I would recommend you to read it. In that, I read about a chapter of a person called Michael Holmes, who actually fall some 14,000 feet. From 14,000 feet, it was a
Wow.
parachute gliding, and he fall from there. He failed to open the parachute, and he tried again, he multiply tried again, but he was not able to open the parachute. Though he resigned himself to die, he had a huge faith. I will not die. I don't let me myself die because of this. And you know what? He had fairly very minor injuries. He was in opera show. He was everywhere. So I mean, if some of the things like these can happen, where person is falling from 14,000 feet and survive because of that unwavering faith that I can do it. I failed to I resign, that I will not be dying. Then why you as a person cannot write a best-selling book? I fail to understand that. It's one person, Vivek, all of you, one person, making the difference. You name it, right? You say Henry Ford. Cars have come because of this one person's faith. You say Madame Curie, theory of radioactivity has come because of this one person's faith. You say Bill Gates, you say Steve Jobs, you say Elon Musk, you say John Wood. There are multiple stories. Neil Armstrong. They're one person. They have faith, and we are talking of writing.
Wow.
I mean, like, why? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think faith is very much necessary, and all of you
I
people.
I
Yeah.
I have a counter to that, Rajat. So what necessarily it means is that even though in life practically people do a lot of things, still they come to a position where they have this feeling of that they have lost faith in something, right? And what you're saying necessarily is that there are a lot of help available for you to regain that faith. One of the thing can be reading books. Other thing is writing a book, as you mentioned, right? And learning from other people's stories, and actually understand how not to fail again and take the right small steps, right? That's what, because I really love the thing that you mentioned about, if you break the continuity in small steps at 15 minutes to 30 minutes every day, it's actually losing almost like 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an amazing statement.
And that is true. Absolutely.
Wow.
So yeah, I think unwavering faith is what you require in bringing your masterpiece. You have all the examples here which I share of either Neil Armstrong
Yeah.
or Steve Jobs or Henry Ford or Sachin Tendulkar, anyone you refer it. And you need to have a faith that, yeah, my book is coming, my book is best selling, and it is going to sell to 100 million people, and it will impact a lot of people's lives. What is the difference? My previous boss used to tell that, okay, this person and you, what is the difference? He also has two eyes, you also have two eyes. You also have one nose, you also have one nose. I mean, what is the difference? Difference is all the mindset. So that mindset is what you require to keep changing and keep consistently doing the things what you're required to do. So have
Wow.
a faith. I think that is very critical. You will have incidents coming. You will have attention span which will continue go low. Three things as I'm mentioning it to you. Have the affirmations. Read the affirmations every day, which I call it writing affirmations. I give it to my students.
Okay.
Number two, visualization techniques. The vision board.
Visualization. Okay.
Yeah, put vision boards of writing. I have 4 or 5 places I have written it in my house, where I every day 4 or 5 times at least minimum read that, okay, my book, this another book is coming by this time, this another book is coming this time. And third is, which is very critical, is to have a coach. It's so
Yeah.
important to have a coach who's been helping you, nudging you, reminding you, motivating you, inspiring you, at times being hard to you as well, to get your masterpiece out. Because I have seen cases in my case as well. There are times when it comes like, you will feel that I don't feel like writing. I'm into my comfort zone. Why am I writing? There
Yeah.
is this incident that has happened, and still am I writing? Really? Do I really require to write? I mean, I am well off. I'm this, I'm that. Why am I waking up so early? Why I'm been writing? There are times which comes in every person's life who's writer or who's authoring a book. That's called something we say writer's block. To unblock that, you require a coach. You require
And maybe, Rajat, you can write a book on the writer's block. How to unblock the writer's block. That also can be a book. Amazing. Why not? Good. I think now what you mentioned, Rajat, that you've covered a lot of points on faith, and I love the fact of affirmation, visualization, and the third one. Can you repeat, Rajat? What was the third one that you said?
have a coach. Have a
coach. Having an author coach, right? Okay. Now, irrespective of all these things, or take cues from all these things, what is that that one strategy, okay, that has either helped you or which you actually tell our viewers today? Hey, by the way, those of you who are watching this, if you have any questions, please put it down in the comments. We would be loving to, see the questions and actually answer them. But Rajat, one question that I have is that what is that one strategy that helps your students to consistently write?
Good question, Vivek. See, one strategy coming into my top of my mind is you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan. See, writing a book is not like, attending a training of 2 hours or 3 hours. Writing a book is like there is a continuous, consistent efforts that you are putting it for a period of month, 2 months, or 3 months. You can hear me, right? Okay.
Loud and clear. Yeah.
Awesome. So what I was saying is that writing a book is not like, attending a training or having a short, small vacation with family, friends, and come over in 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. It is a continuous effort that you require. It is a continuous effort of 60 days to 90 days, or sometimes more when there is a need of a research needed. So you need to give at least this much time. And some people do it early as well because they like to spend more time, more than 30 minutes in a day. They like to spend more time and want to finish it, really want their book to come to the world because people have been listening. But it requires a good effort. It requires a continuous effort. And as I was mentioning, that it's very, very easy to divert, to just stop writing, stop doing the things what you have been doing if you do not have a plan. So you need to have a plan. You need to have a roadmap. You need to know the goalposts from where you started to where it is ending. That is so required. And when you have a plan and you have a small little milestones which you need to achieve, it could be like average words reading, I need to do it in a day. Average words writing, that I need to do it in a day. And when you achieve it, you celebrate it. When you achieve it for a week, you again celebrate it. And there are other activities which I do with my coaching students and all. When you are achieving all of that milestones, that tasks which are required to complete in that plan, then the book comes really, really handy, really easy, and really a good book comes out. I can share with you, this is January 31st, we are talking here in 2021. In the period of 1 month, I'm not bragging though, but I just want to share with you, in last 30 days, I have read 20 books by spending 30 minutes in a day. So that is it. It's only because I have a plan. It's like 20 books come out in 30 days by reading 30 minutes in a day. 50 pages is what I read minimum. That is something which I require to read every day. And I have written 23,000 words for my new book coming out in this 30 days. So 23,000 words only by spending 30 minutes in a day in writing. So all that is possible is because of a plan. You have a plan. That what do you require to do? When you keep looking into plan. Same, I was hearing Satish, who's been taking coaching from me as well. He has read 4 books. Maybe Satish, you can speak out that in last 15 days. So yeah. Once you do not have a plan, then all the things which we've been talking about and all will go hayway. We are the people who are procrastinators. We are the people who get that attention span go different places.
Nice.
But when you have a written plan with focused reading, focused writing, focused activities which you require to do with no distractions, and there is a person who's standing on your top looking at your work and activity, helping, inspiring, motivating, magic comes out. You are able to complete a book of 23 words in a month. You are able to complete a reading of 20 books in 30 days. And it's not something like, I'm doing, or my students have been doing something extraordinary. It's a simple step-by-step process which we've been following of 30 minutes in a day. That's it.
Wow. So I think we have a real life example here, right? Satish, he's started with writing these words. And what, Satish, you're doing on an average doing 800 words a day?
Yeah, I'm writing 800 words a day. So actually,
there you go. So it's simple, right, Satish? 800 words a day into 30 days, 24,000 words.
Yeah.
Freak. Amazing, man. Okay.
Yeah. So also, for me, reading has been a challenge all along. I can listen to podcasts, I can listen to audios and all of that. Books in audio form I can listen, but I can't read. And thanks to Rajat, in the last not even 15 days, it's about 13 days, I have read 4 books. In the last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, every year, annually, I have not been able to read even one book. One book.
Wow.
And now in the
So
last 13 days, 4 books.
Four
Thanks,
books. So as fortune changes, we are not only talking about writing book, we are, I think, indirectly also teaching people on reading the book.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so coming to the concept of faith, Satish. Coming to the concept of faith, there are a few things I would like to ask you. From your networking, you're like a serial network marketer, right? So from that perspective, where would you rate the importance of faith in your field of network marketing? Okay, and one is what should be that level of faith, and most importantly, how can one really get that faith in network marketing or in yourself? Why don't you share your experience?
Very good experience. Very good question, actually. So Vivek, for me, I'm not a network marketer. Okay, I'm from the corporate background. For 25 years in the corporate background, worked in India, worked abroad as a business leader in many companies, in different kind of companies. And for the last 6 years, I've been an entrepreneur. And for the first 4 years, I had 2 failed enterprises of my own, where I miserably failed in both these business ventures. So I was introduced to network marketing just 2 years ago. And I would say that I'm a slow beginner in any field that I've taken up. But once I take it up, I'll do it very well. I'll be striving to be the best in the industry. That's what I've done in my corporate career also. I'll be slow. I'll be extremely slow. But once I get started, once I get the foundation right, I'll be very, very strong. Okay, that's the way I do it. So for me, with network marketing especially, I feel very strongly, because I'm an outsider. I'm not a network marketer. Classically, not a network marketer. So I have actually learned from a lot of amazing people. And the best part is today we have access to all the best people through books, through podcasts, through audio, through training programs, through webinars. We have got access to the best of authorities in any field that we choose to. Any field that we choose to have expertise in, we can have the access to the best of masters. Okay. Only thing is we need to shift our mindset. Our mindset is always that, kaise paise bachao? How do I save? How do I not spend? Can I get some free courses? Can someone is attending, let me also peek in and get some information without paying money. All this mindset has to be changed immediately. All these are investments. In the last 4 years, what I have become is because of the gurus that I followed. There are so many amazing people that we see across in India, abroad. All of them, they give, like Rajat. I have just signed up with him this month, January, and he's a coach. And the coaching that I'm getting for writing a book is helping me to become a better reader also. It's helping me to get the confidence and the self-image that I'm a very good reader and a very good writer also.
Yeah.
I've signed up with another gentleman who is my personal trainer in physical fitness. Since 2001, I've been exercising, running, gymming continuously. But I didn't have a coach. Never I had a coach, because my mindset was, why spend money on coach? I already know I've got access to the best of gyms. Let me do, let me see what others are doing and do it. It doesn't work. Okay. So what Rajat said about having a coach in one's life is very, very important. Now, coming back to network marketing, I would say faith is absolutely essential on especially 2 aspects. One is self-belief, like Chetna said and Rajat said. Self-belief is absolutely essential. That whatever you take up, whether it is network marketing, whether it is any field, that faith in oneself, the self-belief, the self-image that you create about yourself in terms of success, in terms of being able to achieve something, that is absolutely sacrosanct. Without that, you cannot do anything in any field. Okay. Yeah. And that is one of the reasons you'll see a lot of people, they dabble with multiple things. And I don't know, I'll take this liberty of making this a very broad statement, is that especially male ego likes to show that I am into this business, I'm 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 the board of this company, I'm the coach. We love to do that as men. Yeah. I don't know, this syndrome that men have. And I was in that trap. I'm also into this, I'm also into this, I'm also into this, but actually what am I doing? I myself don't know. Actually, where am I making impact? I don't know. I'm not making an impact anywhere, right? So
Yeah.
it's important that people have the self-belief in themselves, the self-image, that they have taken up something and that they'll do it consistently and they'll do it well. That self-image is very important. That faith in themselves is very important. Number one. Number two is that you need to have a lot of faith in the company that you're representing, the product that you're representing, and the network marketing industry as such. Because I'll tell you, network marketing industry has been like the proverbial the industry which has been getting a lot of brickbats. It's like the spoiled kid. It's like it's like the perceived as this last bencher, ruffian college going guy who is loved by all the women in the college, but despised by the classmates and despised by the college authorities. He's like the typical last bencher, he's the ruffian of the college, but he's loved by by certain sector of people. So this is like an outcast, sometimes in network marketing. So the reason for this is because of manifold. One is because people sometimes when they approach this industry, they are approaching it in the wrong way. They're giving misleading comments, they're misleading perceptions to people that you can make money overnight. And look at my house, look at my flashy car, look at my shirt, look at my, all of the stuff that they do, which actually misleads people to think that this industry you just join. After that, everything will be sorted. You just join, you will make tons of money. You can retire in the next 15, 20 months or 2 years maximum is the kind of thing that we people try to project, which is absolutely wrong. There could be exceptions, maybe like very, very small percentage of exception where probably some people have succeeded that way. But in majority of the cases, it takes real hard work. It takes understanding, learning the ropes and everything to get the results that one is expecting. So second part I would say is first is faith in oneself, and second is faith in the industry. Have the right faith in the industry, in the vehicle that you're representing, then things should work out for you.
No, because when you mentioned, Satish, about the people look at the flashy cars, the house, and all that, they're like, oh, you know what, this guy's a network marketer. So which means the moment I get into this, even I'll be having that, right? Maybe that's the truth when the results are out, right? But for the results to come in, okay, for the results to really, really come in for that particular individual who wants to get into network marketing, right? What can one really do on a regular basis, okay, to work with that faith and actually build that one's business?
Yeah.
That's a question to you.
Very nice. Yeah. So basically, you need to practically, like I said, I keep saying this again and again, that there is access to the best of gurus, best of industry leaders here today. In fact, a lot of them, they go on Facebook Live and they give a lot of information, a lot of wisdom in a very condensed format. So have that quest for learning from people. Especially in this industry, there are different kinds of people. People who are freshers, who are fresh out of college. There are people who have been extremely good in corporate careers, have done well for themselves. There have been people who have actually not done well for themselves in the corporate career and wanting to come into this. There have been business people who have been successful, who have not been successful, or getting into this. So there are different kinds of people who are there in this industry. Irrespective of what your background is, it's very, very important that you set aside all of that experiences and that baggage that you're carrying aside and become a student of this industry and learn from all the gurus and learn all the basics of what is required in this industry to survive and do well. Do that. That's number one.
Yeah.
So constantly learn. And second part is constantly implement the learnings. For example, even now, I have got certain places where I have a challenge in terms of implementing the strategies or the skill sets or the knowledge that the gurus are giving us, right? I still have some challenge there. And it's very easy for us to brush it aside and say, action taking is not required there because I am not good in this, but I'm good in that. So let me not do that now. No, wrong. Whatever you're learning, if you can implement it simultaneously, that is the best way to go ahead. Okay, so learning, keeping your baggage aside, and implementing it is the way forward as far as building a faith and building a business in network marketing is concerned. And the number two part is what Rajat and Chetan also mentioned. Very, very important. Work on your affirmations, work on your visualizations. I, like Rajat has told me on the book writing, I work on my visualizations even on that aspect. So whichever aspect of life, whether it is business, whether it is physical fitness, whether it is book writing, anything, any realm that you want to conquer, you always have to have this practice of setting aside some small time, maybe 10 minutes in a day, some 15 minutes in a day, or half an hour in a day, consistently every day, to do that visualization and looking for yourself as to what is the vision that you look for yourself to be achieving. If you don't do that, then you're missing out a very big element, which is about 80%, I would say. 80% of your results will be hinging on that 30 minutes or 15 minutes of the day that you allocate for visualization or for meditation. Meditation also, it can have different forms. Visualization, affirmations, thanksgiving, and all of that is important. It can be set aside. That full time of 15 to 20 minutes can be set aside in a day for that.
Yeah, amazing thing. So, I mean, we also, I'm sure each and every one of us in our journey, we've attended a lot of webinars, a lot of offline events, seminars. People say do visualization, do affirmations, and all those things. As part of, from whatever you have learned so far, how can our audience today can get the benefit of the material that is readily available with you, Satish, or perhaps with you, Rajat? Is there a template or is there a blueprint that we can actually give it out? If you have something on the cards, if not, if we can work on give it to our audience today, okay, just show a thumbs up. We will work on it and give it to them. Like, for example, affirmations, what are the type of examples of affirmations? Visualization, how to do that, right? So that will be really helpful. Is it okay? Yeah. I know it's an impromptu putting you guys in the spot, but let's give it. Let's give it. Amazing. Thank you. So now let's talk to the podcasting queen, the moving queen, who makes things move for us, right? How having faith, Chetna, in your experience and your perspective, how really having faith really helps one to keep moving?
Yeah. First of all, good evening to all, and to all the viewers who are listening or watching live or who would be watching later on. So a big hello to all. And coming back to your question, Vivek, my first thing is to understand what is that is holding you guys, which is holding you to keep moving. Understand that. So be aware of what is that is holding for you. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of your surroundings. What is that is impacting you? The surroundings, the way you are looking at the surroundings, the way you are looking at yourself. Understand that reason. The first thing. Once you understand that, then you have two choices. Either you can change it or you can accept it. Right? So changing there'll be a lot of sometimes if it is in your favor, you will feel that okay, fine, it is fine to move ahead. But if it is not in your favor, then there will be a resistance. So always I believe that acceptance is the best way, right? Acceptance is the state of emotional state. When you accept it, then you will keep away a lot of negative emotions from you. The first part of it. So once you keep away, once you accept and keep these negative emotions away from you, you will have that inner peace within, right? So when you have that inner peace, you will have a lot of emotional space available for you, which will build you a faith, which will build a strong faith within yourself. And how I can build it strongly, as Rajat and all of us were sharing it right now, there are a lot of techniques like affirmations, visualizations, journaling. See, whichever you guys resonate with, whichever you feel it's working for you, believe that. And if you have faith in that, then do it. If you don't believe in all these techniques, fine. Find out something which pushes you, which pushes you to have that faith within you.
Or right? pushes you from 14,000 feet.
Yeah. So what will happen is these are the techniques which will help us to build the faith, Vivek. So one is it will give that inner strength for you, and second is it will help you to fight with the anxiety, fear, all that stuff. And third is like you will be able to come out with a lot of beautiful solutions for your challenges. See, once you have faith within yourself, you, no matter whatever comes your way, you will go for it, right? And so that's very few things which I can tell. Having faith will just keep us moving. And one more additional thing which I would love to add here is, if your goal And if your values is not in alignment, then there will be challenge in having faith.
Wow, man, this is powerful.
So what you have to look up to is
Repeat
what
that.
are
Repeat
your,
that. Repeat that again. Sorry, Chetna. What are the two things that will be in conflict?
if your topmost goal and
Uh-huh.
if your topmost values
Values, goals, and values. Wow. Okay.
is not in alignment, then there will be a challenge for you to have that faith in whatever
Faith.
you're doing. So
Amazing.
what you have to do is just identify what are your values, what you value the most, whether it is your family, whether it is your work, whether it is your career, whether it is your money, or whether it is your business, what you value the most. Identify that and you have to align that to your topmost goal, and then see that there is no need to do any kind of techniques. No, you don't have to implement any techniques for that. Automatically you will have that faith within in whatever you're doing.
Yeah. Superb, yeah. Really like this, Chetna, what you mentioned about because people say, yeah, you know what, have faith in yourself. Oh, be faithful with whatever. Actually, the thing is, when they don't understand if your goals and values, if they're not aligned. This is like a aha moment for me today. Okay, let's hear from our audience what they feel. Go and put in the comments what you feel about what are the aha moment for you in your experience in your life that has actually changed the concept of faith and you've become more or rather attracted more of faith in whatever you're doing. Okay, go ahead and put down your comments. But Chetna, impromptu, okay, out of the blue, maybe you can just take like just 1 or 2 minutes and talk about if you can remember or what is that one thing top in your mind that comes up where in your own personal life, right, experience, what is that which shackled you to to an extent where you were failing or falling or something, but that faith in yourself or faith in what you were doing actually brought you up to where you are right now. Is there anything that you can think of and share?
Yeah, definitely, Vivek. People, when I've been listening from a lot of gurus and many people sharing their story that they lost their job this year and what situation they went through. I have lost job 3 times in my career. Okay, so this is the one incident what I'm sharing. It was in 2016, September 26th, I think, where I lost my job. And for the next 3 months, it was like I was literally searching for jobs and applying many places, but was not getting anywhere. But somewhere deep within, I had this strong faith because for me, my priority was my family, my kids, and this was the thing, my highest value, which I can tell. It was matching. And the only thing is, I was just searching, which pushed me to overcome. It took 60 days, in fact, for me to get one more offer in my hand. But those 60 days was not like stressful. It was, I believe that I can crack the job anywhere. But of course, at the same time, it was not so easy to go through that. But that faith within me, I think it pushed me, and I was consistent in taking action. Every day, I used to apply for 10 people, 10 places, and I used to speak with 2, 3 people whom I know in my known contacts. And I think by the 31st or 35th day, I got an interview call. So that pushed
Wow.
me. Okay, again, I think I got that confidence in myself again, and then I started. I got 2, 3 interviews, and I cleared it. So I think this was one of the situations,
Amazing.
Vivek, where I feel that for me, my highest values when it comes, it's always my family and my kids, and I go all the way to do anything for this.
Very nice. I think you spoke on behalf of the entire universe, right? I think all of us go through the same, right, Chetna? So that's it. Yes.
Yeah, I like to add on what Chetna has mentioned. I totally resonate to what she's been saying, that values need to be in alignment with goals. I can
Yeah.
share to the audience here and to all of you that there was a time when I used to write a lot of things, that I need to do in a day, as a balanced person, and something like, I need to be physically fit, I need to be spiritually sound, I need to be emotionally stable, I need to be mentally sound, I need to have financial freedom, I need to have social activeness, I need to have passion elements. So close to 10, 11 things which, I mentioned in myself, my categories, and one or two things, if you're doing it in a day itself, makes it 20 tasks to do, other than the business and the job which you have been doing, and which was very stressful. And every time I used to miss two or three things as my goals, and it wasn't easy. Every end of the day, I am putting across 3 4 days. I'm putting across on one activity, and I'm feeling very stressful. Then I got into talking to some of my mentors, people, and I understand this sort of a value stack, which Chetna has been mentioning. I understood what are the values which I really imbibe and the kind of person I am really need to have. And I realized I have three or four very critical key values. Once I got to know that three or four critical key values, this whole balancing aspect of physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, financial, passion, social, societal, everything was gone. I was only working on that two, three things: reading, writing, researching, period. Until from time to today, I don't do all that things which I used to write. I'll be balanced person, I'll be this, I'll be that, I'll be Superman. No need. I think your values and goals need to be in
Yeah,
alignment.
yeah,
Once you have that, then you, and as Satish is saying, less is more. I think three
yeah,
four
yeah,
things only do. Like, then life is beautiful. So
yeah.
something I just thought of sharing it with you, Chetna,
Very
exactly
nice.
resonate to what you were mentioning it.
Thanks, Rajat. Thanks a lot for sharing. Whatever we share is it's always
So I think we need to
in the
ask
mind
question
of
to Vivek.
yeah.
Vivek, you can't escape. You can say that, and then he'll ask you the question. You say that, whatever you're saying.
No, I was saying whatever we share, impromptu or planned or whatever, it's always in the best interest of our audience and our community, right?
Yeah.
Whatever knowledge we have, we want to share because ultimately, fortune changes mission is what? Changing people's fortunes. Fortune doesn't have to be money only, right? So fortune can be, having abundance of wealth or health or the spiritual growth or whatever humanity, right? So these things really play a role. So I really appreciate our Rajat you sharing that.
Right.
It was really a
Right.
nice one. Thank you.
So, question to you, Vivek, is that how does one have faith in money? Straight
Okay,
question.
you put me in a tight spot. Okay, so I can't escape today. Okay, you know what? Let me tell you this. Let's understand faith first. Faith is nothing but absence of fear. Faith is nothing but absence of fear. Fear and faith cannot coexist. It's like darkness and light. It cannot coexist, right? So now, once we understood what is faith, let's understand money now, and then I will combine faith and money. Okay, faith and then money, and then faith and money. Now let's understand money. Money is basically it's exchange of energy. I'm talking to you. There's an energy exchange, right? Similarly, feelings and emotions are also energy. I can just be like this. Oh no. I can say, hey, yeah. Energy can be high, energy can be low, right? The exchange of energy also is nothing but money. I'll tell you how. What really happens is that when someone pays money or receives money, there is always an energy associated with it. Tell me openly, let's say when the salary comes into your account on the last day of the month, Rajat, is there a smile on your face when you see that amount credited in your bank account? Yes or no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. Whenever let's say there's a EMI money goes out, you'll be like, okay, now it's gone. But are you really happy and excited and jumping? Hey, EMI went out like the way money came in? No, right? So there's a difference in emotions also whenever there's exchange of money that happens. So what are the emotions, feelings of fear when you're receiving lesser money and there's a lot of money that you need to pay? There's a fear, that's emotion. Anger, happiness, fun, ego, etc. Okay. Now let me take you to a part 2. Okay. Now what is when I say exchange of energy? See, for anything to exchange, let's say if I have to give a high five to you guys, I put my hand like this, you have to put your hand like this. 2 people. Yes or no? Correct? Right? Exchange of product service also 2 people. Yes or no? But there's a invisible third party in this. So that's why for this, when it comes to faith in money, there is a 3-party transaction, tripartite. Okay. So it's not only between payer and a receiver. Okay, though it seems between 2 parties, actually money, thoughts about money, the emotions and feelings about the money also including the faith about it, actually travels via ether. Ether is nothing but a conduit of universal energies. Okay, your thought, it actually travels at a speed of light. It's like that. Now, since we've established understanding the faith and money and the exchange of energy and exchange of money between three parties, sometimes what happens is, even though money is coming, money is going, people still don't have faith in money much. Why? When you earn lesser money or pay more, what happens is, that faith about money starts coming down. Okay, and when that faith of money comes down, the faith in you yourself also starts coming down, and then fear starts setting in. You see the connection? Yeah. This why it actually works this way. Let's try and understand quickly. When you pay someone, as an example that I gave, right? When you're paying someone, when the money is going out, with an agony or a feeling that bad is, money is going on, if you're feeling bad about it, universe is actually listening to you. It does not understand any other language. It understands your thoughts and emotions. Okay, it puts you into a lower frequency. Why? Because that in any emotion around agony or anger or fear and all this is sort of low frequencies of your thoughts. The moments it puts you on low frequency, what happens is the inflow frequencies also will be low only, because when you're paying with anger or fear, while coming also that universe says, you know what, this guy is always having this, so whatever money is flowing in that particular frequency, let's push it to him. So which will always be low. So what happens in effect, when someone pays you, same frequency they'll be paying you, and you will start attracting people with the same amount of emotional state. Okay, so what is the result? Because of this, the faith in money actually starts coming down. As a result, obviously, faith and confidence in yourself also comes down. Okay. Now, good news is that, of course, it works exactly opposite when you're really blessing your money wherever you receive or pay. Okay. Now we understood what's money. We understood what's faith. We understood the connection between exchange of money, exchange of energy through a tripartite transaction, and why sometimes our faith in money is low. Right. Now, what can be really done to improve this faith? If you want me to, just a moment. Okay. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay. Now, if you want me to give you some tips and hacks about how to improve this faith about money, okay, I want you all to show thumbs up and actually hit on the like button out here, or put in your comments. I'm talking to all my beautiful audience. Okay. Faith is directly proportional to the fear, as I mentioned, okay, that you have about money. So fear and faith, it cannot coexist. So to reduce this fear and increase faith, there are some simple steps that you can take. First of all, you really have to shift your beliefs about money. Okay, what is that childhood experience you had about money? What's the faith your parents had about money? The same thing you're carrying over. More often than not, you can change it. The power is within you. Second thing is, willingly release your old thoughts about money and adopt a new, positive, more positive and profitable way of thinking. Okay. First one is what? First one is shift your belief. Second one is willingly release old thought patterns. Third one, seal what you have learned and take quick actions, fast actions. What actions you need to do? I'm going to give you 4 steps. Okay. Just stay with me. Then you got to write down some, actions that you can do immediately to shift your belief to a higher plane. For example, the first one I said, shift your beliefs about money. You can just simply write, what was my current belief? Am I always thinking, oh, I don't have enough money? Do I have a negativity about that? Okay. Do I have a lack mindset about money? There's nothing wrong with it. Just write it down. Okay. This is something, a concept, Rajat, Satish, and Chetna. This today, what I learned. There's something called faith focus. FAITH, faith focus. Okay. What it means is that, see, you know what? Money is like your girlfriend. How many of you have girlfriends? Your daughters can be your girlfriends. Your wives can be your girlfriends. How many of your boyfriends? Chetna. Your son can be your boyfriend, right? So money also is like your girlfriend, boyfriend, and it loves a lot of attention. Okay. So if you want to manifest more money, then you all you have to do is focus on more money coming to you. Okay. That is called the faith focus. You know what? I have this faith that I'm focusing my faith on money, that I love it. Okay. I'm nurturing it. Okay. And I think all of us spoke about vision board, guys. right? Is it okay if I share something and I don't know how to do that? Let me see. Let me see this. Okay, before I bring that up, the next point that I had is to actually, familiarize yourself with the end results. Look at the end result of money via vision board. Okay, I want to show you this vision board actually. Give me a moment. If I can share my screen. Okay. I don't mind sharing my entire screen now. Let me know if you're able to see this, guys. I'm not seeing anything that you guys are typing as comments. So one of you have to just speak up and tell me, yes, you're able to view.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can see.
And we can
Good. So this is an example. This is not really mine. This is an example I picked off on the net. It's a beautiful one. See this big dollars. Okay, and see this lady. She always wants to travel. She wants to dress up well. Okay, she wants to read a lot of books, right? And having a lot of money in her hand and writing down the something like this. You can actually add pictures of the car that you want to buy, pictures of the house that you want to. Okay, you can actually put perfume pictures. You can put yourself in in front of a large stage and talking to a lot of audience. Whatever is your vision, make it a vision board and put it on the wall where you can actually start seeing that. Okay, that's another way of increasing your faith about money. What I want to share. Okay. I know, Satish, you asked me what is faith about money, and I think I took a lot of thing. The most important thing is to put those four actions that like right now any of us can actually do that to start increasing the faith. Okay, all you have to do is step number one. Okay, step number one, write 2 fears that has been actually holding you back in your journal or on a piece of paper. Then write 2 goals that are opposite of these fears. Okay, for example, the fear is that, hey, you know what, what I'm earning is not enough. Next month EMI is there. Or fear can be that I don't know if I'm able to save enough. Against that opposite one, write your goals. Goal can be, if that is not sufficient, if you're earning, let's say currently 2 lakhs a month, and if that is fear, that is causing fear in you, write a goal which is like I earn 5 lakhs a month. Okay, 2 fears and 2 goals. Step 1, step 2. Step 3, now imagine and visualize. This is a visualization, and feel it, how your life would look if you accomplish these 2 goals. Okay, and for the next 30 days, for 1 month at least, say it aloud: I am worthy of financial success. What is it? I am worthy of financial success. These are the 4-step formula that I want to share.
Vivek, how consistently one can save even under losses?
Yeah, so it again takes me back to this state now. First is raising your faith level, faith focus on money. Okay, that's where your mindset will start changing, shifting from loss to profit, because everything in this universe starts with a thought in your mind. If you're really actually incurring losses because you have thought about losses a lot in your life, that's why you're actually incurring losses. Okay, start changing your mindset from loss to profit. Second thing is, see, it's the same common thing that I'm sharing with everyone. Knows, have a budget. Everyone knows, yes, I need to have a budget, but is it really a defined budget? And are you sticking to it? You got to really do a self-reflection exercise. So join my 5am club. I'm actually your money coach. Rope me in. Let me see how I can help you to really see if your budgets are in place or not. Okay. Third thing is, once budget is there, in a budget, what typically happens, okay, so much money I get, so much I have to spend here. No, you have to have a budget for saving, my friend. When you know that you have to save minimum 20% a month, whatever money that comes in, irrespective of the fact that is lesser than your EMI, lesser than the money that has to go out, doesn't matter. That money is earmarked for 20% saving. You have to just put it aside. Okay. Follow these 3 things over a period of time. It will help, but it will not change overnight. First engagement model is have a money coach, understand where your finances are, understand why you're not able to save, understand your mindset, change that mindset, do the clear up exercise in your subconscious, and then start afresh. These are my points.
Great, great, Vivek. So I think all of us shared a wonderful insights from your perspective, whether it be it finance, be it authoring the book or network marketing. So hope this session has given some kind of value to the audience who are watching. And before we could wind up, is there any final thoughts on faith and consistency, Vivek?
Again, let me repeat. Faith is nothing but absence of fear. Fear is good to have. Because if you don't have fear, then there's no check. It should be a balanced life, right? But I'm not saying that you should be, blind. Blind faith is dangerous. Having the faith in a focused way is good. Okay, so look at that. Reduce your fear, increase your focused faith is number one. Second thing is consistency will follow once you have a coach. Two things is well.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Rajat.
I could recollect the movie Secret, as most of the people have seen, and there is a episode. There is a picture that comes that there is a flower which has been growing, and we say this stuff doesn't work, and it dies out. Right? I mean, there is a time when this sort of a thing does come. People can consistently doing, and when they get that feeling, oh, this stuff doesn't work, so universe is bringing that thing out. So I think I will add one more angle to what Vivek is saying: faith and fear. So I will say faith plus action is greater than fear. That's what I would say, Chetna.
Thank you. Wonderful. What do you, Satish?
Very well said, Rajat. Very nice. So basically, I would say that I would like to go to the statement and the analogy that all these experts give us, coaches give us. They talk about that bamboo, which is like for 5 years it doesn't grow. You don't see anything happening, and then suddenly after that, in a matter of few weeks, it grows to a few 100 feet. So same thing is with us. All the journey that we have taken until we become successful, of falling, failing, and then getting up and doing some things, has all been with the idea of some faith. But there will come a time in one's life when everything else doesn't matter. The faith will be so overpowering all your realities in life that you will know that success is around the corner, and you will not even believe that it's around the corner. You'll already breathe as if you're successful. And when that happens, I think you'll live the faith. That's my
baat hai yaar.
Great,
I love
Satish.
this. How about yours?
Yeah.
I think I would like to. I mean, what just now Rajat was showing Miracle Equation book. I've taken this from that book, in fact. So you can create miracles if you have unwavering faith and put that extraordinary efforts consistently. So you can create miracles in your life.
Wow.
So that's it. What I to believe, because as all of us were sharing bits and pieces, so daily small steps of actions will lead you to the results, whatever you are expecting. So habits, ensure that you focus on your daily routine habits, which converts into daily actions, and nothing can stop you from becoming successful.
Wow.
Amazing.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Before we end, guys, what are we going to talk? Let's plan now. Let's plan live. What are we going to talk next week? Fortune Talks.
We'll talk about action. We'll talk about action.
Actions. Exactly. We know faith. We know fear. We understood about decisions and all those things. Next is the actions. Okay, amazing. So stay tuned, all of you. Fortune Talks is coming next week, Feb 6th, right? At 8 p.m. And we will talk to you about actions that you can practically take. All right. Having said that, love you all. Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.